Kieran, great to see you, pal. Last week was certainly one of those where were you moments when the Queen passed away, the news breaking. So where were you, and kind of what was your reaction to the news?
Yeah, I was with my wife and children at home, and to hear the news, it's obviously so sad for the whole nation. And yeah, it was a shock really more than anything. But yeah, I'd like to send my condolences to the royal family, of course, and yeah, it's sad news for everybody, and hope it's a good opportunity this weekend to pay our respects, to bring everybody together, most importantly.
Yeah, we've seen the kind of raft of inclusions that the Premier League are going to be bringing in this weekend. Obviously the anthem, the moment's silence, all of that. Yeah. How respectful will that be at a place like St James's Park, do you feel, this weekend?
No, most definitely, because St James is a really respectful place to be. I know they'll be in the full voices with the national anthem to pay respects to the Queen. And again, it'll bring everybody closer together, and yeah, it's all about making sure everyone's together. That's important, with such sad news that everyone's had to deal with for the past week.
It obviously led to the weekend games being postponed.
Yeah.
Given the number of injuries that Newcastle have had, and given, I suppose, the intensity that Newcastle play at right now, how important were those few days without a match day for the club?
Yeah, I think firstly it was important because obviously of what's happened. Everyone had to respect that. But yeah, we have had a lot of injuries in the past couple of weeks, but it's out of our control. It's out of the club's control with the Premier League getting stopped last weekend. But obviously, looking on the players' side, it's gave them an extra game to come back to. So, but we need to focus on the next game. Of course, we all want to play every game, but understandably, under the circumstances, we couldn't play last weekend. So this weekend we focus on the game against Bournemouth and get the 3 points, which is the main objective.
It certainly felt like a period as well where everything was just almost building up. The Crystal Palace decision, that late winner for Liverpool the week before. Even for a player as experienced as you, how frustrating a period was that at the time? It
was. I think it's a difficult one really, because I feel like we've performed so well from the Forest game until now. You look at the Liverpool game. We conceded in the last second. Well, saying that, it was about 3 minutes over time, but this is football. And the Palace one, you got to give credit to them. They defend well. They made it hard for us, but we had opportunities, a lot of opportunities. So, but you see the transition that we've made from last season till now. You see the way we want to play. The managers, the way the manager wants us to play. They're on the front foot. And yeah, it's attracting football, and you can see from the fans that they're really enjoying it.
Like you say there, the performances have certainly been there, if not necessarily the results yet. Yeah. At what stage do the performances translate into the results, and how does that happen, would you say?
About being clinical. Obviously, we've looked over the past few games, how many chances we've created, goal scoring opportunities, and it's just about being clinical, because as soon as one comes, the second one comes, and they start coming, especially with the opportunities that we've had and the players that we've brought in, especially the clinical. So it's about being patient and believing that we have been doing, and keep building. That's the most important thing. That's what I say all the time. This club's on the up, so we just need to be patient and just keep building game by game.
His performance is helped by the new arrivals, certainly Nick Pope, Sven Botman, Alexander Isak as well. He had an interesting first week or so. Obviously scored on his debut at Anfield. Then there was that missed opportunity, shall we say, against Palace. What have you made of him now that you've been around him for 2 weeks or so on the training ground?
Do you know what? He slotted in straight away, and I know how hard it is going to a different league to adapt to the culture, to the league itself, because the Premier League's so intense. There's no other league like it. So, fair play to him. He's come in, like I said, Liverpool away, scored, didn't even look out of place. It's like he's been there for a long time. So, full credit to him. He's working hard on the training field, and Sven's come in, another top quality centre half. Pope, who I know very well, who has shown throughout the first game of the season how important he is, the saves that he's made for us. So yeah, quality signings, and it's only going to benefit the team in the long run.
Was Alex someone you were well aware of in your time in the league from Sociedad? What did you make of him there? Yeah,
I played against him a couple of times. He was, I think one game he was coming onto the left where he played against me, and he's one of those players where he can play on the right, left, or top on his own. So it's good that he's flexible like that. And when I played against him in Spain, it was, the manager made it aware when I was there at the time that, he needs to be careful of him, his pace, he's a clinical finisher. So I'm absolutely delighted he's here. He's got a bright future ahead of him, so at such a young age, and hopefully he can score many goals for us.
He's in good form. You're certainly in good form right now. I think Alan Shearer summed it up. He always seems to sum it up pretty well, does Alan? But he said you were very, very good the other week, certainly, which is putting it mildly, I reckon. Would you say this is the best form of your career today?
I think I started well. But I always, no matter who I'm playing for, no matter what stage of the season, I always give 110%. So I feel like I've started the season well, but it's already started the season, and I need to keep performing, keep getting better. But I'd say it's up there with the probably best football I played in my career. I have to say this spell in certainly my last season at Madrid.
Is that because it's almost like the perfect storm for you right now? The fact that, the team are playing some good stuff, the style, the ambition at the club, the fact that you and the family are back up north, and the fact the fans love you, it's all contributing to that perfect storm towards your form?
Yeah, I think there's loads of little things that play a part. As long as my children are happy, my wife, that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, I knew the manager. I know what he demands. I know what he expects every day in training, in games. So that always helps when you come to a new club. And obviously, like you said, the ambition of the club, the direction that it wants to go in, and like I've said many times, I can see it reaching its full potential in a few years. So it's all exciting. Of course, it's all nice when it's going well, and you need to keep that mindset when things are not going too well also. But I think we've got a great group here, a great manager as well to keep us on our toes.
His former could well lead to the England call-up, the all-important England call-up for this year's World Cup. Given the quality of full-backs and the competition that you have at right-back certainly, but left-back I suppose as well, you could call into that, would this call-up mean the most to you, given all the call-ups you've had?
Every call-up is special. Playing for your country, like myself, if I don't play, if I do play, you're always going to get 110% out of me in training, in games, on the bench. So, of course, there's a World Cup coming up, so it's going to be even more special if I get called up for the camp coming up. And of course, the World Cup, it's so special. I'm lucky enough to be involved in one before, so I'm always hungry. I'm still getting better, and I'm still learning. So. And I'm still young as well.
I missed that one out. I should have included that. My apologies, Kieran, my apologies. Look, looking at England as a whole, I suppose the quality is right there. We've seen it in the Euros, of course. Leading up into this World Cup, many people will argue England will go into it as one of the favourites. Would you agree?
I think we've got to go into every competition believing that we can win it. We certainly did in the Euros. We believed we could win it. We fell just short on penalties, but you see the quality that we've got in our squad. Unbelievable manager, unbelievable staff there behind the scenes also. So we've got everything in place to be successful. So, but yeah, it's just about taking that next step now, because we've reached the semi-final, we've reached the final. So we want to go that one step further, but we need to keep our feet on the ground, of course, because we know what we're up against around the world, so but we just need to believe in ourselves. That's the most important thing.
Let's focus in on Newcastle, because you could be going to the World Cup as a Newcastle United captain, or one of two captains, the on-field captain certainly. What does it mean to you to pull on the armband of a club with as much history and as much tradition as Newcastle United, and what is it like walking out at St James's Park with that armband on?
Do you know what? I've never had the armband. I've been a captain on the pitch when this captain's been subbed off, but for me it doesn't matter if I'm wearing the armband or not. I don't mean that with any disrespect, because I always give 110%. Like if Jam's not playing and I've got the armband, no problem. It's special to walk out at St James's, of course, leading the boys. I've been lucky enough to do it for my country, but like I said, if I've got the armband or not, I'll always give 110%. That's a given. That's why I play football. That's why I've come to Newcastle, to give everything. So, but of course, it's special when you do wear the armband. But if Jam's playing and he's got the armband on, you're not going to get any different out of me. You're always going to get 100%. And
I suppose part of that 100% is scoring some belters from free kicks. I saw this incredible stat the other week, mate, that from 4 free kicks you'd taken, you'd scored 3. Now you've taken a couple since that, which haven't gone in, fair enough. But talk me through the process. You're there, 20-25 yards out, Gallagher end, the chant goes up, Kieran Trippier over the wall. What's going through your head? What is your process at that time?
To score? No, it's just Yeah, when a free kick comes in though, in these positions, it's just about feeling confident. And yeah, it's just about getting on target most importantly. But I believe in myself with every corner that I can put it on a plate, or every free kick. You have to feel like that. You have to believe in yourself. If not, it's not gonna come off. So yeah, every opportunity I get, if it's a corner, free kick, whatever it is, I try and put it on a sixpence for my teammates or in back of the net. But some go in, some don't. But yeah, hopefully I can score many more this season.
There's some decent set piece takers in the Premier League. Would you say you're pretty much right up there or not?
For me, being honest, Prowse is, I've seen him for England. Obviously, seen him week in, week out in the Prem. He's ridiculous. I've seen him in training. But you've got Trent. I could go through loads of players, but we've got a lot of good specialists in the Premier League, and I'd back myself up there, but yeah, we've got a lot of good ones.
That's the free kick experience. I remember once Kevin Keegan described the Newcastle experience as riding a black and white tiger. You've been here, 8 months now?
Yeah.
How would you sum up your Newcastle experience? Not necessarily just on the pitch, but off it as well.
I think off the pitch, I think it's crazy, but in a good way. They proper welcome me and my family in. Everywhere I've been, like restaurants or park with my kids, everybody's so, just so happy that I'm here, and that feels really nice to hear the supporters, how passionate they are. On the pitch, it speaks for itself. You see St James's. I've said it before, the Cambridge game. You don't get 50-odd thousand there at a third round cup against Cambridge. I don't mean that in disrespect to Cambridge, but you just don't see that. And you see it week in, week out, how passionate they are. The war flags, everything about the club, and it's on the up, and the fans deserve that.
And obviously we talk about the passion, but you talked about the project here when you signed back in January. Is it progressing even quicker than you envisaged when you joined from Atletico Madrid?
Not really. I think the club are doing it in the right way. I think they've took it step by step. Signings, they've brought in great characters. That's a very important thing. Brought in quality, of course. But the building, and that's the most important thing, and it's about being patient, because you can't jump from there to there. You can't, it's impossible. So the club are doing it in the right way. We've got the perfect manager. The owners are, signing the right players. So it's about building. It's hard for the supporters. I would understand that, but you've just got to be patient, because for sure Newcastle will be up there.
I know it is about being patient, but you've played international finals, you've played club finals. With, Newcastle like this, the fans, the ambition, how normal would it be to see Newcastle United up there with the biggest names in club football?
Yeah, you look at Newcastle throughout the history, they've always been up there. They deserve to be up there with the supporters, the stadium, the city. Obviously the past few years it's not been there, but over the past, since the takeover, you see the progression that the team's made, and the club as a whole. So yeah, it is building, being patient, because Newcastle will get there, but it's just about being patient. That's all I can say, really, because we've got the perfect manager to take us there. That's for sure.
Yeah, you mentioned the manager, a man you know very, very well as well from your time at Burnley over the years in football. How much has he changed as not just a manager, but a bloke as well since your time at Burnley, would you say?
I'd say he's changed a lot. I think when at Burnley, I think he was really early in his managerial career. Yeah. And then he went back to Bournemouth, and I think he's gained so much experience until now. He's travelled when he wasn't, I don't think, at the time when he didn't have a job, or he wasn't a manager, he was travelling, as he's come out and said before, to different clubs to gain experience, how clubs work. And he's back at Newcastle now. A great opportunity for the gaffer to, show his skills as a manager, and I think he's certainly done that since he's been here. You see the way that we're playing, the way he's got us set up now. For me, I've known him for many years, and he's a top quality manager. And like I said, I know what he demands and he expects. So I try and help and push myself, especially, but the lads to the levels that he wants.
And an interesting time for him this weekend, of course, facing against his own club, or old club rather, for the first time, I think, since 2020. How much does this Newcastle United side relish, though, being favourites going into a game like this, when in previous years that pressure might have weighed heavy a little bit on the side?
To be honest, certainly myself, I don't look into any game, being honest with you, if we're the favourites or not. We just no matter who it is, you know, we go into the Man City game to win. We go into the Tranmere game straight after to win. So, to be honest, we don't look at it like that if we're favourites or not, because you've always got to respect who you're playing against. Bournemouth for a good side. You see, since the Liverpool game, they've reacted very well. 0-0 against Wolves and then winning 3-2 at Forest. So it's just shown a great reaction from them. So you need to be careful against your opposition.
And just finally, mate, the feeling of us against them has come up a lot over the last couple of weeks, certainly. How much does that suit your character? How much does it suit the players' character? And how much does it suit the character of this city, would you say? Yeah,
you know, I think I've read some about the gaffer mentioning that. But you've got to think like it's us against the world, because everyone wants to beat you. You know, you see the transition that the club's going in with the takeover, the way everybody can see Newcastle evolving as a club. You know, and you know, people might be, you know, wary or, you know, maybe don't like it, but you know, it is us against, no matter who we're playing against. You know, we're playing Bournemouth for the weekend. It's us against them. We want to win that. We want to beat them. So that's where you got to think.